You have lied to the DPP. You cannot lie to the TRRC. You told this commission that you are an independent witness for Faring Sanyang. True?
Wow, why?
Yes, it's part of my statement, but
I don't how many witnesses so one
we were two independent witnesses.
Through the records, this where Faring witness his case.
Except if you went to the records.
You see, the problem you have, Mr. Witness, if you cannot remember which person made a confession in your presence, how could you be a credible and reliable witness in court?
Well, because that could make a 3-4 years do make a problem. Why? It's almost 14 years now.
But if I told you it was just some 3-4 years later, but now it's been 14 years or more.
But isn't it also because you were a habitual or a professional witness for the state in extracting these confessions?
ndax yow nekkuloo koo xam ne woon da nga jikkoo wala nekkoon koo xam ne ku daan def liggéey bi la di nekk seede ci turi nguur gi ci ay kayit yoo xam ne moom la ñu feewal sa kanam.
So first time I left correct 2006 file kubila after lolu musuma ko defaat fen.
The first time I did it was in the 2006 foiled coup. After that, I did not do it anymore.
Not only were you a witness for Faring Sanyang, you were also a witness for Yaya Dabo.
Well, my 2006 foil coup rek ñu nekkoon coup protest ñu wone ñu nekk coup protest ñoom la sédé.
Yes, those were the foiled coup plotters of 2006.
And you know what? Yaya Dabo's statement was taken late at night.
Xam nga ne Yaya Dabo kàddoom yi mu doon jël di ko binda ñu ko jëloon ci xaaji guddi.
Man musuma sign ben witness statement boo xam ne dañ ma email statement bi rek ma sign ko li ma sign yëpp dafa fekk nekk li ma séddee ñu toog wax ñu wax ñu bindal leen ñu sign ma sign.
I never signed any statement, witness statement that was brought to me. I only signed those that I was present and which were written in my presence.
So if a person is beaten and a statement extracted from that person, a confession extracted from that person, you would not be present when those things happen.
Su fekkee ne borom moom dañ ko jël dóor ko ba tax ñu wax la ko li nga xam ne moom lañ bugg mu wax ñu jëlee ko ci moom loolu ndax diñ ko dee fekkee.
Man li ma fekkee rek mooy time bi ñoo jël statement seen joxe seen cautionary statement loolu laa fekkee waaye su fekkee ne beneen statement amaat na itam nekkutoon ci suma kanam.
What I witnessed was when they were giving their cautionary statement. If there was any other statement that was taken, I was not a party to that.
So if a statement is changed, say for instance a person was beaten to give a confession before the panel, and the person is taken inside the room for a statement to be taken, you would be present.
Léegi su fekkee ne nit ki jël nañ ko pour mu joxe ay kàddu yoo xam ne moom lañ bugg mu wax ko ci kanami panel bi ñu jël ko delloowaat ko ci beneen room boo xam ne foofu laa war a joxe yeneen I kàddu ndax yooyu yëpp da nga ko dee teewee.
Waaw su fekkee ne man li ma teewee rek mooy time bi ñoo joxe seen statement yu rek laa teewuma beneen statement.
What I witnessed is when they were giving their statement. When they are giving their statement, that's the only time that I'm present.
In fact, the witnesses tell us let's take Wasa Kamara for instance.
He
gave his independent, he gave his confession in your presence. That's what you said, correct?
Yes.
Do you know why he gave that confession?
No.
Wasa told this commission that when he met the panel, there was blood on the table. There was a hammer placed on the table. There was a broken tooth on the table. And people, the soldiers were in the room carrying their guns. He was terrified. He had no choice but to confess. Are you aware of that?
No, I'm not because anything of that sort because they were brand start saying statements and then could you are not threatened, you are not me, you are not so you are free to say whatsoever you know about this school. Manila don't fake it. Why must ma fake it for me? You take sal la living corridor la one ni come sal corridor la ni one ni office on your right. Fufula office drama kon fufula don't carry on this all statements you may attend na ko fufula ko attend.
No, and if such a thing were to happen, that will surprise me a lot. In fact, when these people are brought in, the first thing they say is that this man is brought here to witness that you have not been threatened in any way before they give their statements. And in all the occasions that I witnessed when statements were being given, there was no such thing as you have described on the table there.
And all of those people confessed, correct?
Wow.
Yes.
Wasn't it strange to you that all these people confessed?
No, nekut man time
Mr. Witness, answer the question.
I wouldn't know what was strange or otherwise. All they did was to call me to be a witness.
We are all Gambians, we know each other. We know our character, we know our temperament. Wasn't it strange to you that 6 senior officers of the army or senior officers in government, Faring Sanyang, he was a lieutenant or he was an officer. Yaya Dabo, he was an officer. Bunja Dabo, an officer. Wasa Kamara, an officer. Ali Jo, former accountant general. Tamsir Jasi, former director of immigration. These are all very senior people. And they all came and confessed. Wasn't that really strange to you?
Li nekul lo xamne lula war la ñi mu lim ni ñepp ay borom maxamari for lañ ñom ñu juroom ben yépp ñu wara ñu tok dal di joxe ay cadeau yo xamne ñom lañ bëgga déggé ci ñom ndax lolu doonul la jaaxal
liñ leen tuumal yépp lañ nangu
ñu deful defandor ko nangu liñ leen tuumal.
Wasn't that strange to you?
No, really it doesn't because ñom gannaaw ñom lañ tuumal ñom ñu confess ne li ñom ñoko def. There was
nothing that was strange as far as I'm concerned, since they were the ones that were accused and they came and they confessed to it.
But it did not surprise you that every single one of them would confess?
Why betu la tamit ne ñoom kenn ku ci nekk ci ñoom ñepp ku ci nekk rek nangu nga liñ la tuumal.
Like the last question be.
Can you ask the question again?
Wasn't it surprising to you that all of them confessed to the accusation of the most serious crime in the book?
Ndax jaaxalut la ne ñoom ñooñu nga xam ne ñoo fa teew yépp kenn ku ci nekk nangu nga li nga xam ne moom lañ la tuumaal te lañ la tuumaal doon tafaar bu mag a mag boo xam ne mu ngi ci biir réew mi fii.
Jaaxalul ma gannaaw ñoom ñu ko def woo ne ñoom ñoo ko def kay.
It did not surprise me, since the accused were the ones that confessed to doing it.
And in fact, it's not just these 6 people. Mr. Witness.
Ndaxam sax emut ci juroom ben yoyu rek de.
It's a whole lot more.
Ñu bare bari toppa nañ ci.
You forget Hamadi Sow.
Fàtte nga Hamadi Sow.
Hamadi Sow.
The Marabu.
Serigne. Okay.
You forgot?
Wow, Serigne bi ñetti tour la amone de mom.
Yes, the Marabu had 3 names.
I am not done yet.
Yes.
The Serigne from Bogal, Hamadi Sow.
Serigne bi baye ko Bogal, Hamadi Sow.
Nekut ki waxone dafa digenta ya Jammeh dawal cycle.
Was he not the one who said he dreamt of Yaya Jammeh riding the bicycle?
That is also another Marabu.
Waxutam benen Serigne la.
Wow.
And that is Omar Fall.
Omar Fall.
So not only were you the independent witness for Hamadi Sow, you were also the independent witness for Omar Fall.
Sédawulo rek Hamadi Sow de way Omar Fall tamit sédé nga ko.
Omar Fall mun na remember man ko soga remember ni motax mané suñ démé true records rek su joxé sen touré man na mëna fataleku.
I'm just remembering him now, and that's why I said if we go through the records I'll be able to recall.
Mr. Witness, you cannot recall all of them because there were too many.
Sédé bi do mëna fataleku ñep ndax dañ bari torop.
Because you had a deal with the state to be the person who would do the dirty job for the state by validating these confessions that we are beating out of these witnesses.
Ndaxte dafa am nanguto bo xamne def nga ko ak ñi nga xamne ñoo nguur gi pour nga ñew déggal li nga xamne moy tuuma yi seeni borom nangu nga déggal ko joxe ci sédé.
Non, lolu amuton parce que nekku ne man rek ma nekkon sédé be paré texte nekku ne dama ñu pour anda nguur gi man nguur gi ken o man ndur moma o te bi mo oye ci lola la taxaw
That was
pour sédé li ma féké.
That was not the case. I was not in collusion with the government. I was called by Ndu.
And I was not the only witness.
And I was also not the only independent witness.
Mr. Witness, you are 2 witnesses.
Sédé bi yeen ñaar la won.
Wow.
Yes?
Wow.
Yes.
One from Sukuta
Kenn ki baye ko Sukuta.
and one from Bara.
Kenn ki baye ko Bara.
Correct?
Wow.
Yes.
And you would know that Bara is too far away.
Xam nga ne Bara dafa sori.
Wow, Bara sori na.
Yes, Bara is far away.
It would have been easier just to stand at Marina Parade and just fish somebody, just get somebody who is passing to say, hey, we have a person to make a confession, come and be an independent witness. Wouldn't that have been more efficient?
Ni ko dina doon gëna yomba rek taxaw rek ci mbéddi Marina Parade bi gis ko yomba rek ne ko kaay ñëwal nga nekkal ñu sédé bo xamné du far fen loolu du mo doon gëna yomba uté jëli kenn ba Bara.
Loolu de man kenn mënu ma ko def.
No one can do that to me.
Xaw ma la xamuloo woon ne ma rek kaay jël witness nekk witness ma ñëw taxaw.
If I don't know you and you
Man
don't
waane
know
ko
me,
loolu moom mënu ma ko mukk.
you will not be able to just call
But
me
don't
just
you
like
think
that.
you have done worse?
Fogo lo ne def nga lu gëna bon.
No,
To come from Bara every day,
Di joggé Bara bor bu set.
it is like the state anticipated that there would be a confession.
Dafa melni nguur gi ñom sax sentu won nañ ne am na ko wara nangu liñ ko tuumal.
And they bring you there to be there when the confession is being made.
Ñu ñew indi la pour nga fekkee koku nga xamne mom lañ tuumal mu wara tok nangu ne mom lañ tuumal.
Isn't that calculated?
Lolu fogo lo ne luñ waajal la.
no man foog naa ne nguur bi nduur bi de toogee ba call ma that time.
I think
ko wone lulu affaire nguur yi state bi wa they were aware ne mu ma call pour ma ñëw. No.
when Ndur called me, I do not think that the state was aware that he was calling me.
But Ndur called you to come and become an independent witness, didn't he?
Yes.
Yes.
So at that time, he knew there was going to be a confession.
Bamla o xamone na ne amna ko xamne dina tok pour nangu tuuma giñ ko tuumal.
Wow.
Yes. That was why he called me.
And they kept happening, they kept coming.
Te dafa continuer di am, continuer di xew.
Faring Sanyang, nga ñëw,
You came.
and you became independent witness.
Nga ñew koku nga sédé ko.
Yaya Dabo,
Yaya Dabo.
the same.
Momit naka nonu.
Bunja Dabo,
Bunja Dabo.
the same.
Naka nonu.
Wasa Kamara,
Ak Wasa Kamara.
the same. Ali Diop, the same.
Naka nonu.
Tamsir Jase, the
Tamsir
same.
Jase naka nonu.
And now we have discovered that there were in fact two other marabouts.
Amna yeneen ñaari sëriñ sax ñu ci bokkal.
What are the names again? Fall and Hamadi Sow.
Hamadi Sow.
So now we are talking about 8 people for whom you are independent witness.
Isn't
that too many, Mr. Witness?
Hamadi Sow, man, remember why fall Omar Fall Ketal, I don't know. Kogumum witness na muna fully remember to the throne.
But as for Omar Fall Ketal, I remember being a witness for him when you mentioned his name.
Let me read to you that of Hamadi Sow. You remember the lawyer Nene Cham Chongan.
Lawyer Nene Cham Chongan.
You remember her?
Wow, Chongan.
Yes.
Chongan be Fatelekuna. Wow.
Yes, I remember the Chongan. It's a lady.
Of course, Nene Cham Chongan.
I remember. It's a lady.
And you remember she represented a particular accused person. And let me tell you what Sow told the court. Madam Chair, I'm quoting from Gambia Times, a newspaper, online newspaper published on Friday, 3rd April 2009. And this is what the man said. He told them that he was handcuffed and he was beaten with sticks and whips. He was taken straight to Mile 2 prison and later taken to NIA office at around 12 midnight. At the NIA, he was dropped at the midst of the soldiers who started to beat him indiscriminately. He said those that beat him were armed with sticks, whips, guns, and knives. He was beaten in the main courtyard. So pointed out that around 3 a.m. he was taken upstairs in a big sitting room together with other people. He asserted that he was subjected to questioning. And he denied knowing anything about the matter. He posited, he stated, one Captain Musa Jame told him that he knew something about the matter because of the fact that the owner of the compound, Marabu Cherno Bari, knew something about the matter.
Musa Cham ko mom xamna li nga xamne mo doon xew ci Musa Cham Cherno Bari xamon na li nga xamne mo doon xew.
And Demba Sow and Haidara started questioning him.
Ak Demba Sow ak Haidara commencé nak diko laaj.
I told them to call all the people that they have arrested to see if they knew me.
Waxna len ñu ñu japp yeb ndax ñom dinañ mëna wax ne xam nañ ma.
Captain Musa Jame told me that I was lying.
Captain Musa Jame ne ma dama fen.
He pulled out a pistol
mu génné fetel
and stuck it in my mouth,
dugal ko suma gémmiñ,
thereby breaking my teeth.
dafa dama sax suma boñ.
He told me you are lying and your marabu cannot do anything about it.
Mu ne ma waxulo déggate sa sëriñ bi du ci mun dara.
And let me skip some of the things that were said.
And move on.
Marabu Sow indicated that when he was making his voluntary statement, there was no independent witness.
Marabu Sow mu ne moom ba moo joxe seede mi amul kenn koo xam ne seede bu farut fen bu fa teew la.
And he does not know any BABOU LOUM.
Te xamut kuy BABOU LOUM.
He said he knew Seni Ndour and the NIA.
Wax na ne xam na Seni Ndour ak NIA.
And one who obtained a statement from him.
Ak ki nga xam ne moo doon jël kàddoom yi di ko binda.
And Nene Cham Chonga and his counsel
Nene Cham Chonga mi nga xam ne moo woon looyaam
reminded him that
ko fàttali ne
the independent witness BABOU LOUM told the court
seede bii di BABOU LOUM wax na ca court ba ne
that he was happy when he was signing the statement.
Ne Sow moom ba moo sign kayit boobu dafa kontaan.
And this is how Sow responded.
Te lii la Sow tontu.
how can they accuse me of partaking in a coup d'etat? And I laughed about it.
Naka lañ ma waxee ne man dama bokk ci coup d'etat ba pare ma di ci rey.
I was never in a laughing mood.
Man jamono boobu taluma woon sax ree.
He added that if it was not for the severe beatings, he would not have signed that statement.
Mu yokka ci tamit ne doon dóor yu méttee métti yiñ ko doon dóor ni ko doon du musa nangoo sign kàddu yooyu noonu.
You had forgotten Hamadou Sow.
Fàtte nga Hamadou Sow.
But clearly, you are the independent witness for Hamadou Sow.
Reer na ne yaa fa nekkoon seede bi pour Hamadou Sow.
Well, okay, so fekkee de kooku looyam la su ko neex mun naa waaye moom man mosuma wax ak ñii parce que loolu dafa serious.
That person is his lawyer. She could say such a thing, but I've never spoken to these people.
Are you now denying that you are the independent witness also for Hamadou Sow?
Danga bëgg a weddi ne yow yaa nekkoon independent seede bi nga xam ne pour Hamadou Sow.
Well, parce que li Nene Chongan wax fofu nonu lolu man mosuma ko wax sax.
Because what Nene Chongan said, I have never said.
And accused person ñu ngi jël sa statement nga mané bi mo joxe statement sa mu ngi ré. Lolu man duma ko wax
I wouldn't say I don't have a heart.
Said that.
I would not say that an accused person was laughing when his statement was being taken.
This is the newspaper article of what happened in court on 3rd April 2009. You deny it.
Li kayiti xibaar bi ñoo ko wone li nga xam ne moo xewoon ci atte kay ba ñetti fan weeri April 2009 danga ko nga weddi.
am na kayiti journal yoo xam ne sax day wax ne man NIA la te loolu du dëgg. So kon dañ bina lu leen neex rek.
So there are some newspapers who even said that I was an NIA officer, and that was not true. Some newspapers just write what they please.
Mr. Witness, we would come to that. You are an informant, but this is about what is recorded to have taken place in court. Are you suggesting that the newspapers fabricated it?
Dinañ ñëw ci loolu dam na ñëw du xekkati xibaar nga woon waaye da nga bëgg a wax ne kayiti xibaar gi liñ binda nii moom dañ ko xalaat rek binda ko.
Waaw si suma side lañ bindoon dañ ko xalaat rek binda ko parce que musuma wax ne kii bi moo joxe statement am bi daf doon ree.
On my side, they just wrote what they pleased, because I had never said that when he was giving his statement he was smiling.
Mr. Witness, you are now beginning to realize the fancifulness and the ridiculousness of the statements you made before the court.
Léegi nag ci nga doga ràññee mbir yi nga xam ne moom nga waxoon ca kanami attekaay ba doy waar ak li nga xam ne moom la umba yépp.
You only realizing that.
Waaw mo sama leen ne leen dem ci records because am na record yoo xam ne comme li nga ani because mun nañoo nit ki witness bi mun naa joxe witness am ñu bind ko ba pare mun naa joxe statement am ñu bind ko ba pare ma sign ko. Well, any other statement
which is why I said we should go through the records, because a witness can make his statement which I will sign, and then subsequently another statement will come which I will not be aware of.
Mr. Witness, there is no better record than this. This is a contemporaneous reporting of what was happening in court.
Li amul leneen lu wara gëna mëna wër li lu set la lu woné ni nga xamné moy xibaar ak nim doon doxé ci atté kay ba non lañ ko feñalé.
When Gambia Times wrote this, they never knew that there would come a day when BABOU LOUM would be put in the witness box and ask questions about these things again. They never knew that.
Ñoom bi ñoo bind xibaar bi musuñu woon xalaat sax ne dina ami jamono boo xam ne BABOU LOUM dinañ ko ñëw taaj fii pour mu mun a wax li nga xam ne moo xewoon xalaatuñ ko woon sax.
So you deny that you are the independent witness for Hamadou Sow?
Léegi yow da ngaa weddi ne nekkoon nga seede ci mbiri Hamadou Sow.
Parce que wax ji ñu fa wax noonu man maa ko wax loolu man mosuma ko wax.
Yes, because the statements that are attributed to me there, I did not say.
Te li fi mu nekk li nga read ni ka lead counsel nit moo ko binda def ko fa.
And what you are reading, lead counsel, was written by someone.
So those people are lying.
Well, on my side, what they have written is not true.
Yaya Dabo, he said he was beaten late at night, around 3 to 4 a.m. He was taken upstairs and his statement taken.
Yaya Dabo, wax na ne digante ñetti waxtu ben ñeenti waxtu yi ci haaju guddi jël nañ ko yóbbu ko ca kaw dóor ko fa ba pare jël ay kàddoom ci moom.
Is he also lying?
no, xam nga mënuma wax ne dafa fen waaye man li ma mën a wax mooy xëy na loolu mën naa am.
I cannot say that he is lying.
Wow.
That could have been the case. It could not have also been the case.
Mr. Witness, isn't it the case that you became an independent witness to confessions which were initially made at a time that you were never there?
Fogolone dañ lañ jël sédé bo xamné do dang fa nek pour sédé do farle fen nga sédé mbir mo xamné sax bañ ko def nekkulo fa won.
Luma mëna defense mo bofa because duma mëna sédé ben sédé bo xamné bi ñu jël statement bi I was not there be paré after ñu wara ñu di jëlaat statement bi ma féké bo mëna né féké nako way li ma féké wut li ngeen naan yépp mëna happen why was not in my presence.
All these things you are saying could have happened but they were not in my presence.
Mr. Witness, we would come back to all that. You were also the independent witness for Omar Fall.
Yes.
Omar Fall also said he was tortured.
Omar Fall wax na ne mom tam dañ ko metitaloon.
Ali Council man mënuma bañ ne dañ ko metitaloon loolu yëpp mën naa am waaye at the time of taking their personal statement I was there ba pare noonu it was in my presence. Why ne dooru leen man loolu mënuma attest to that fekkewuma ko.
I cannot deny that they were tortured, but when their statements were taken, I was there.
So you cannot deny that Faring Sanyang was tortured?
Bon nun lo we dine Faring Sanyang mitital nañ ko.
No,
I cannot deny it.
In fact, we had testimony from Langtombo. He said Faring, his head was injured and he was bleeding profusely. In fact, as a result of that, Faring was not made to appear before the panel.
Ndaham sax amna sédé bu fi wax Langtombo ne Faring bi mo joxe sédé mi dañ ko door ci bop ba nga xamné sax mënu to na tew ci kanami panel bi.
Are you aware of that?
Yeg nga lool.
No, loolu yeguma ko.
I'm not aware of it.
Yaya Dabo, we've just dealt with his case. He was beaten mercilessly and taken before the panel at 3 a.m.
Yaya Dabo wax nañ biram ba pare wa mom tam door yu metti lañ ko door ba pare yobbu ko ci kanami panel bi ñetti waxtu ci xaaji guddi.
Are you aware of that?
Yeg nga ko.
Loolu musuma ko yeg.
I was never aware of it.
Bunja Dabo, do you know that his arm was even broken?
Bunja Dabo ndax mom xam nga ne loxom bi sa dafa dam.
Loolu yeguma ko.
I was not aware of that.
Wasa Kamara, he just described his situation. All the threatening things were on the table, and he was threatened. As a result of that, he agreed to give a confession. Are you aware of that?
Wasa Kamara wax na mbiram be pare ay yef lo xamne tegon nañ ko fi table bi pour titlo ko lolu taxna be mu joxe ay kàddu yo xamne mom lañ bëggoon mu joxe ko nangu liñ ko tuumal ndax yegg nga lolu door ko door yu metti.
Muna mu am bala ma ñëw after bu ma ñëwee waaye man time bu ma ñëwee amul doon anything of that sort ñu teg ko si table bi any threatening tool or anything loo xam ne rek dañ ko doon xuppee pour gars yi wax xam nga si affaire li ñu xam si coup bi. mun naa am after loolu or before loolu mun naa am ñu dooleen because mënuma ko attest.
That could have happened before my arrival or after I have left. But while I was there were no such things on the table that were threatening as such.
Aliou Job, he too was brutalized, he was tortured.
Aliou Job tamit soxore nañ ko mitital nañ ko bu baax sax.
Li ñu wax yëpp si TRRC bi laa ko xamee.
All the things they said, it is here in the TRRC that I got to know them.
Very torture.
Tamsir Jase, he spoke yesterday, you heard him. He gave a confession even before he was tortured, but he was intimidated and he had no choice but to confess. Are you aware of that?
Tamsir Jase wax na fi demba mom joxe na sédem bala ñu ko mitital sax waye mom itam dañ ko soxorel ba nga xamne mom titalol nañ ko yeg nga lolu
yegu bako waye Tamsir fo na ne mo nekkon di very person ki nga xamne mun na remember mbiram bu baaxa baaxa.
But answer my question.
Aware, but I think Tamsin will remember more accurately what happened to him.
Are you aware that he was threatened to confess even before he came to give his statement?
ndax xam nga ne moom Tamsir dañ ko xuppoon pour mu wax li nga xam ne mu nangu liñ ko tuumaal balaa joxe ay kàddoom sax.
No.
And you remember Aliou Lo?
Fàttale ko nga Aliou Lo.
The student.
Is it the student?
I don't know whether he was a student, but you were also independent witness for Aliou Lo.
How man student la de way yow tam bokkon nga ci ñi ko doon sédé.
You are also an independent witness for Abdullah Njai.
Nekkon nga sédé pour Abdullah Njai.
You were in fact the professional independent witness.
Yow dal yow yaay ki nga xamné yaa mënon sa liggéey pour def sédé yoy nga xamné mom lañ la doon jëlé pour nga.
You were chosen because you would accept to do this dirty work for the state.
Yow dal mom dañ la tanon rek pour nga def liggéey bu tilim bi nga xamné mom nga doon defal nguur gi.
Bon, mon temps ma pour lolu parce que liñ ma tanon rek moy pour ma sédé rek parce que liñ leen def before ak after man féké wu mako. Da leen tochon da leen threaten dal luñ leen munti def dal in my was not in my presence. Waye li ma féké moy at the time of taking their personal statement lolu wa féké.
Mr.
I was not chosen for that. I was just asked to come in and be an independent witness. Now the tortures, if they happen, they could have been before my arrival or after I left.
Mr. Witness, they had to go all the way to Bara, get a person who would do this work. Is that not the case?
Sédé bi dañu romba fi yépp jall dem be Bara pour jëlé fa nit rek ko xamné mo leen wara mëna defal liggéey bi du lolu.
No, do they, but he.
Not them, but he.
And who is he?
Sergeant Dur.
Sergeant Dur.
And your relationship with Sergeant Dur, you said he was your friend, he was your mboka, he was your childhood friend. You were his go-to guy. He would go to his friend who would do it for him.
Wax nga fi ne yow Sergeant be ni yow xaritam nga mbokam nga da ngeen daan ànd ba ngeen nekkee gune bon yow yaay ki nga xam ne bu soxlaa façon yi ci yow laa ñëw pour nga defal ko ko.
No, that was the only first time pour mu def ko moy des 2006 foil coup after lolu musuma involved suma bu facile.
That was the first time he did that. That was the 2006 foiled coup. After that there was nothing of that anymore.
Mr. Witness, you didn't do it for just one person.
Sédé bi defaluloo ko kenn nit rek de.
You didn't do it for two.
Defaloo ko ñaar.
You did it for a whopping 10 people.
Dang ko def ba lu tollu ci fukki nit.
10 accused persons.
Fukki nit yoo xam ne dañ leen tuumaal.
Waaw mooy li ma leen a wax rek ci time boobu rek la appear passé loolu am nga amatul feneen foo xam ne mos naa fa appear.
This is what I'm telling you. That was the only time that I appeared. Other than that, there is nowhere else that I appeared.
Mr. Witness, we agree. We all agree you are a very smart person, very streetwise.
Ñun ñëpp nangu nañ ne yow mi ku eewu nga.
No, do affaire eewu sax waaye xam nga nit ki.
Mr. Witness, to get you to do this for 10 times, and each witness did more than 2-3 statements.
Te yow pour nangu nga pour def lii fukki yoon te kenn ku ci nekk ci seede yooyu joxe nañ seen kàddu benn ñaar ba ci ñetti yoon.
It means on average you have done it over 20 times.
li ñu tekki mooy mboole seen yépp def nga ko lu weesu ñaar fukki yoon.
Doesn't it appear to you that you are their go-to guy?
Foogul woon ndax yow yaay ki nga xam ne yow lañ óolu woon rek di la indi jamono bu nekk.
Waaw xam naa dañ bëggoon a indi more witnesses rek moo tax ñu jëlee ni ñu ñaar.
I suppose they did not want to bring in more independent witnesses, which was why they took only the two of us.
But pare xam nga li jàng bu rëy moo fi nekk.
There's a lot of learning in this.
Tell us, we're listening.
Wax ñu jàngat bi lan la.
Waaw jàng bi mooy lii rek comme ni ma laajee nii rek xam nga. Okay, this was the first time and comme ni nga wax never again rek du ma mos di dalati moo dem ne maa ngi war a taxaw pour witness because xam nga di witness li nga xam ne mooy am xam nga ngay war a toog ñu laa ne waxuloo dégg o defloo nii xam nga so da nga gis ne.
Mr. Witness, the issue is that
those
confessions that you claim
tuuma yi nga xamne mum lañ nangu nonu te yow nga wax ne
were made voluntarily,
ñi ko def dañ ko def seen coobare
free from threat, free from torture, free from coercion,
amul ben xupa amul ben mitital bo xamne def nañ leen ko
was false.
du dëgga
And he knew it was false.
te yow mi xam nga ne du dëgga
orna yalla ci suma kanam billahi amu ben time bo xamne ma ngi won ci office bobu nonu ñu indi fofu ben man civilian la suñ fa bëggona indi yow duma ñoti sax billahi wala talay ken inu fa gon ken tretul len munna am before or after. In my presence there was nothing like that mu happen for nonu.
To God I can say that while I was there in my presence, nothing of that sort happened there. I'm a civilian. If they had brought in guns there, that would have just made me leave the whole thing. But the tortures could have happened either before or after my coming in.
You said this was the only time you did it?
Well, see, 2006
yes, in the 2006 foiled coup.
But that was a lie.
No.
In fact, the lawyers who participated in this trial have told us you signed over 32 statements. And you were consistently the independent witness of choice for the state between 2006 and 2009.
Te sa yow yaay ki nga xamne dal mom la nguur gi taamu won daan la tan rek pour nga ñew nek sédé digënté 2006 ba 2009
lool musta am 2006 mo nekkon the first year sala m musuma ko def
2006 was the first year and that was the end of it. I have never done it anymore.
Did you sign up to 20 statements?
Ndax sign nga bem tollu ci ñaar fukki statement.
No records get any records.
The question is did you sign? Answer the question. You know what you did.
I can't remember.
And you're now hiding behind I can't remember.
No.
Well, if you did it a few times, you would know.
By 20 times, Mom, definitely I can't remember.
Well, as for the 20 times, I cannot recall. I cannot recall that.
You are shocked because it is too many.
No, do very jahless, parce que li amu dara lu ma ci tiit because man li ma def lu lay wax li ma fekkee lu lay wax amu ben man definitely.
Mr. Witness, there's nothing to be shocked about and there's nothing to be afraid of. I only say what I have done.
Do you have any reason why they would have to go to Bara to get this one single person all the time consistently to do over 20 statements? The reference I have is 32 statements. The lawyers counted them.
Ndax yow mën nga xalaat lan moo waral ñuy romb fi yëpp di dem ba Baara di fa jëli nit koo xam ne rek mu ngi ñëw seede lu toll ci ñaar fukki statement ndax am ñun sax liñ am fii sax dem na ba ci fanweer ak ñaar.
loolu yëpp bañuma ko waaye li ma wax rek mooy buñ di wax dee man kenn nit moom moo tax man ma ñëw nekk si lii.
I don't deny that, but all I want you to do is not to be saying they, because it was one individual who got me involved in the whole of this.
Mr. Witness, what's so special about you? That Sergeant Dur would have to ensure that his childhood friend would come from Bara every day to do this for 32 statements.
Sergeant Dur would be the person to answer that question. He called me and I came and I witnessed.
You used to leave Bara at 6 a.m.?
Musuma baye ko Bara 6 a.m. parce que amul time bu ferry du def 6 a.m.
I never left Bara at 6 a.m. because at that time the ferry is not yet in operation.
You would arrive in Banjul at 8 a.m.?
As the ferry be doing 7 Banjul.
If the ferry left Banjul by 7, yes, I could get to Banjul by 8 o'clock.
You would even be at the offices before the civil servants arrive.
Bang
Those
deni-
who were paid on a monthly basis.
ci office bi bala liggéey kat yi nguur yi nga xam ne weer lañ leen dee fay ñoom balaa ñoo egg seen office sax fekk na yow àgg nga fa.
man suma àggee man time musuma àgga si office fekkuma fa kenn kon lan moo njëriñ ma fa dem. loolu man ma comme ni nga waxee rek am not paid ba pare ñi nga xam ne dañ leen a fay sax maa leen a jiitu seen office yi. loolu musta am.
I never go to the office and not find people there. Just as you said, these people who are paid, then if that were the case, what would be the use of my coming?
You would often arrive at 8:20 or thereabout.
xëj na lu yàgga di ngay egg ay juróom-ñetti waxtu passé ñaar fukki minute wala lu ko jege.
waaw.
Yes.
By Gambian standards, that is early.
ci wàllu ginnaaw Gambie niñ koo jëlee bon loolu lu teel la.
waaw lu teel la parce que ku jàll see force ferry kay teel la.
Yes, it's early because one that crosses with the first ferry is early.
This thing must have been very important for you.
lii na xam naa ne de lu am solo la woon ci yow de.
no lifin la naka naka laa ko mën a tuddee sax school la woon si man.
It was a school for me.
waaw.
Yes.
It was a school of torturing people to confess.
school la woon pour ñuy mitital nit ñi pour ñu nangu liñ leen tuumaal.
naa leen bés bu ma fekkee woon ñu torture ni di ko mitital pour ñu jël statement am du ma fa demati mosuma fekkee loolu noonu.
I told you
school la
that
woon
was.
pour mooy atteindre li ma doon ñëwee di atteindre noonu maa ngi ci doon jàngal lu bari. am ci experience.
If there was ever a situation where I found an individual being tortured, I would have left. But
What
like
did you learn?
I'm saying it's a school because as I was coming there were also things I was learning along.
What did you learn?
lan nga ci jàngee.
Because different people la ku si nekk ñëw ak different statement am binda lifin binda sign ma sign.
Tell us what you learned.
foofu laa ñëwee.
That's where I'm coming to.
li ma fa jànga mooy comme.
I learned there.
ñoom ñi nga xam ne ñoom lañ wax ne ñooy ku plotas yi.
That is the accused, the
ku si nekk daf day ñëw with his idea.
Each one of them comes with these ideas.
kii binda lii kii binda lële.
This one writes this and the other
jàng lu
writes
bari si
that.
loolu.
And through that I learned a lot.
because ñoom ñëpp ñoo bokk mbir mi.
All of them were in the same thing.
ba pare ku si nekk rek mu ngi ñëw rek di bugg a tuumal moromam o di bugg a ne moom fii la amoon kii moo defoon kii moo defoon.
Each one of them
ngay déglu daal fa jàng lu bari.
comes and tries to accuse the other or says this is the extent of my activities and this is what this other person did. And as such, I was able to learn a lot from that.
Was that what interested you?
loolu moo la ci itteeloon.
non italut moo woon dama am nga jàngi by force rek bi ko yaa ngi ñëw di atteindre affaire woonu foo jaaree di nga so loolu nekk dof di nga mun a am looy xam nga jànga foofu noonu pour ëllëg ak si bit xam nga loolu su passé woon after ñu ñëw ne ma dañu la bugg pour lii ak lii ak lii loolu moom suma bon parents sax mun a duñ ma koo defalaat xam nga defloo waat xam nga rek.
That was learning by force, as it were.
Were you a witness in the case of the money doublers?
No, money doublers did it.
No.
May
God protect me from such.
You know Samba Jogo?
xam nga Samba Jogo.
I don't know Samba Jogo. I have never attended that.
Were you in fact a member of the Green Boys in Bara?
bokkoon nga ci ñi nekkal Green Boys ci Bara.
I know you would deny it now, but the people of Bara are listening. You were a Green Boy.
xam naa di nga ko weddi de waaye waa Bara yi de ñu ngi déglu de nekkoon nga Green Boy.
xam nga dama laaj naa la tontu.
You have asked me and I will respond.
Were you a Green Boy?
Yes, I was.
Yes. And you participated in leading the witch hunters in Bara, didn't you?
No.
te bokkoon nga ci jiite bi ñu rëbba duma yi ci Bara.
I was even angry.
Mr. Witness, you participated.
bokkoon nga ci.
Participate aussi parce que benn bés bi gars yi ñëwee fu ñu doon small sister ñu ko doon ngénte.
With them.
I did not participate because the day that they came, my sister was having a christening ceremony.
Salifu koor call ma mu ne ma Ababakar ma ne ko naa mu ne ma dañ la soxla fii pour nga ñëw teewil fi alkali.
Sarif Kaur called me, Ababakar, and I answered and they said, we want you to be here to represent the alkali.
And who is Salifu Kaur?
Who is Salifu Kaur?
Major Corps, Kasalifu Corps, Musi Army, we have one for them peacekeeping, I don't know.
Major Corps, he was in the army. I think he's gone on peacekeeping, and he was responsible for Yajame's garden in Bara.
And Major Corps was also one of those who led the witch hunters around Bara and Esau, correct?
Major Corps, mo jite won ñi nga xamne ñoo doon robba demay ci Bara ak Esau.
Do you agree to that?
Yes. Nekal for alkali. Manako alkali wisma mamla. Domam yang ko ina fa domam mi dem.
When he called me and told me to go there and represent the alcalo, I told him the alcalo is my grandfather. His children are there. Let one of them go and represent him.
After 10 minutes,
Jao called me and said to me, BABOU LOUM, you are a witch. A wizard. I said to him, it's only a wizard that recognizes his fellow wizard. Then you too are a wizard. He said to me, Salif called you to come and represent the Alcalo and you refused. I said to him, I am the Alcalo's son. His sons are there. Let one of them go and represent him. I was never in line with that. And I never went with them to anywhere.
Why would they call you?
Salif Kor momo call pour modem nekal alkali before modem represent alkali.
Salif Kor called me to go there and represent the alkali.
Because he
knows about my activities in the community.
And your activities in that community was to threaten everybody, to show everybody that you were an NIA agent, you were a paid informer for the state. That's the attitude, that's the posture you had in Bara.
Yow li nga wonon nañ ñi fofu moy ne yow ya nga togal NIA dañ la fay pour nga liggéeyal leen di leen jox ay xibaar yi ñoo soxla.
No musa am because man musuma nit ñi ñoo ma doon accuse as NIA sama before a newspaper bindee.
That never was the case. It was the people who accused me of being an NIA agent, especially after the foreign newspaper wrote that.
I don't know the point. I'm not being a newspaper who been a man. I was an NIA.
The point, or any one of the other newspapers who said
at Camfenda.
And I was an NIA agent who was posted at Camfenda. And I don't even know where Camfenda is located.
Mr. Witness, it is common knowledge in Bara that you were a green boy, correct?
Sedabi, Bara yep ñoo xamone ne yow da nga bokkon ci green boy.
Yes, I was there. I was a coordinator.
Exactly. And you were always flexing your muscle in Bara, threatening everybody about your relationship with the state.
Bara
dëkk bu ma bëgg lañ. amul kenn ku ma mos a taxaw traité la dëkk bi yëpp ñoo mun a attesté man I am a good citizen of Bara. Bara ba pare ñoom xam ne man lan laa munal Bara amul kenn koo xam ne mos naa la traité te nekkuma ko.
And
it's a crime.
The whole of people of Bara know that I am a good member of the community and I have good intentions for the community. I have never threatened anybody.
You were a paid informant for the police?
Hey, man ben doomu aadama mënut ma dugal si loo xam ne ëllëg dama am na leena loo xam ne dama ko dee report. Comme par exemple mu nekk loo xam ne yaa ngi war a dugal illegal arms fii ma yëg ko ah. moom bu ñëwee seytaane bi mun naa seytaane bi am si boppi borom loolu I can tell it waaye yeneen man musuma dem si police di joxe information.
The only example I can give you where I reported is, for instance, when you are bringing in arms into the country, because that problem is one that will not only remain with one person. Such things I will report them.
Have you ever reported anybody to the police?
Wow.
Yes.
I will see police be direct because killer on the among information.
But it was not directed to the police.
I'm not being a motor bujalasi.
I got information that there was a vehicle about to cross.
Not by road more Lebanese moko dawal.
And the driver was a Lebanese.
Mu amé gun ci biir motom bi.
And that they had a gun inside his vehicle.
Time boobu noonu Malisa am na ku Malisa londe after mu jox ma number benn intelligence military intelligence officer bu nekkoon ci SAO camp bi foofu noonu.
There was someone I laced with who gave me the contact of a particular military officer who was at the SAO camp.
Because moto bi romb na already ma inform ko jox ko am nga niñ ma ko description bi.
At that time, the vehicle had already passed, but I passed on to him the description of the vehicle as was passed on to me.
Guy ñoo jàpp ko ci checkpoint before noonu SAO.
And he was stopped at the checkpoint in SAO.
Ñu seet ci biir moto bi.
They searched inside the vehicle.
Fekk fa gun.
They found the gun.
Which was not licensed.
Which was not licensed.
Wow, lii amoon na.
This happened.
Was that the only time?
Boobu rek la woon. Waaw, boobu rek la woon.
Yes, that was the only time.
But how come you earned the reputation of being a paid informer? An informer to the police and the NIA in Bara?
Lana tax ñu doon wax nag ne yow dañ la fay pour ngay jox xibaar police ak NIA yi Bara.
Ñu bëggoon naa de ñu feeñ suma kanam ñu jàpp ba pare jël téye kaamil bi waat because man mosuma am time bu sax man suma time may ma loolu.
I would have loved my accusers to come in front of me, perform ablution, and hold the Quran, and then make these allegations against me.
But your time permitted you to be the go-to guy for the state, to become the professional witness. On 32 different occasions.
Waaw mënoon nga nekk ko xam ne yow lañ tànn pour ngay ñëw di joxe seede lu toll ci fanweer ak ñaari yoon.
I lead council living bono naka professional bono mon ama bugo nga withdraw ko.
Professional is one that I would like you to withdraw because I was not a professional.
Because panko don def rek xam nga out of rek suma digante ak Ndour mu ñëw rek ne ma teewal ma teewe te le ma doon teewe mooy wax naa ko at the initial stage wax naa ko ne I'm not a security personnel.
But I did it because of my relationship between Ndour. When he calls me to be a witness, I'll just come and present myself there.
But tell me.
Initially, I told him that I was not a security person.
Tell me. Ndour trusted you, didn't he?
Wow.
Yes, Ndour, yes. Oh, yes.
He had confidence in you.
Wow.
Yes.
What
you say is very close to that, as far as our relationship was concerned.
He knew that you were dependable for him. No, xamone na ne mom munna yaakar ci yow, munna wéru ci yow.
No, well, su fekkee ne moom xamoon na loolu man loolu am not so waaye xam naa ne daal.
But all that was what
suma relationship ak moom. But
I know that it was because of our relationship which was why he brought me into it.
Ndour knew that if he needed it, you would protect him.
Man su fekkone lolu pour aar Ndour la duma dem parce que dem pour aar an individual or whoever he or she may be duma duga ci yoy nonu.
That was only to protect Ndour. I wouldn't have gone there to protect one individual.
The question is, Ndour knew that if he needed your protection, you would protect him.
Lema laajte mooy ne Ndour xamoon na ne jamono bu soxlaa sa kaaraange ci yow dina ko doon am.
Lead counsel.
Yes, lead counsel, yes.
And that is precisely the reason why he came to you. That is why he left every potential candidate in Banjul and went all the way to Bara to get his dependable friend, this guy who would protect him.
Lolu motax mu bayyi fi ay nit ñoo xamne mënon na leena jël rombalen fi ci Banjul jalla dem be Bara jël fa ko xamne or na ko ne jamono bu ko soxla dina ko mëna aar.
Waaw mom hejna mom ñu la ko xelaté way dal man gustane dal he was a friend and a very good friend of mine.
Yes, maybe
and everything.
That was what he thought, but for me, I saw that he was a friend of mine, a relative, a very good friend at that.
And you did what he wanted?
Wow.
Yes.
And you were there, you were scared, you were terrified of the soldiers.
yow yaa nga fa woon nga ne yaa ngi tiit yaa ngi ragal li nga xam ne ñooy soldaar yi.
déedéet dama ne bi mu duggee ba gis ku nekk amee gun.
No, I said when I got inside and I noticed that each one was having a gun.
loolu moo ma tiital.
That was what scared me.
bi ma duggee si biir office bi nga xam ne gun nekkut fa.
But when I got into that office where there were no guns,
foofu moom tiituma fa.
there I was not scared.
But don't you think that those people who were being interviewed, who were being interrogated with soldiers all around carrying guns, you think those people would not be terrified?
Foguloo ne ndax ñi nga xam ne ñoom lañ tegoon foofu di leen laaj te soldaar yu amee ay fetel wóor leen ndax ñoom tam duñ doon tiit.
waaw xam nga fi mu nekk ñoom suñu waxee ne dañoo tiit mun naa see ànda parce que ñoom rek ñoo mun a attest foofu noonu waaye man personally xaw ma because ñoom they are soldiers like them.
Well, here, if they said that they were scared, I can go along with that because I wouldn't know. And they are soldiers, in fact, soldiers just as they are.
But you had their testimonies in court. They said they were not only scared, they were beaten mercilessly. That's why they gave those confessions.
Yes,
it's true. When I heard that in the court,
because in my presence,
it surprised me. I said, behold, these people have experienced something very horrific.
Mr. Witness, it is understandable if this happened only once or two. We are talking about 32 statements. It cannot be a coincidence. It cannot be chance. This was designed.
They were
beaten on.
In my presence,
but what I witnessed in my presence,
anything of mark or threaten and don't bring a statement be freely.
Each one of them that came, I did not see any marks on their bodies or any threats given to them. They were not exposed to any kind of threats. All I saw was them writing down their statements.
Do you know that any person accused of a crime is entitled to a lawyer present when he is being questioned?
At that time, I was not aware of that, and even if I knew, what else? Because I was just called there to be present.
Mr. Witness, you were not a child at that time. You were a mature adult. You were a mature adult who was already seasoned in business. You were smart and streetwise. You were coordinator of the Green Boys. And you want to tell us you did not know that a person accused of a crime should be allowed a lawyer?
I never knew that.
And what else didn't you know? That you cannot be threatened to give a statement?
They can threaten someone to give a statement, yes.
And that was normal?
Threaten someone to give a statement?
is abnormal.
That is abnormal.
And that is what happened at the NIA?
In my presence, that never happened.
In fact, all those who who testified before this commission.
ñi nga xam ne ñoo ñëw joxe seen seede fii ci kanam commission bi.
Apart from Langtombong Tamba.
gannaaw ku dul Langtombong Tamba.
All of them agree.
ñoom ñëpp nangu nañ ne.
That there was a system.
amoon na nuñ daan defee.
They torture the persons.
dañoo jël borom mitital ko.
Take them before the panel and they accept.
yóbbu leen ci kanam panel bi ñu dal di nangu.
And after that they are taken to the room to give their witness statement.
gannaaw bu nangoo pare nag ci lañ la door a yóbbu nag ca néeg ba nga xam ne fa la ñoo joxe.
From all you know, do you deny that that was the system?
ak coow li nga xam yépp ndax mën ngaa weddi ne loolu mooy li doon dox.
waaw ñoom suñu waxee ne ñoom loolu lañ daf doon am.
They said that that was what happened.
loolu mun naa nekk.
That could be.
Why office bi man nekkoon ñu joxe statement.
But the office that I was in, where the statements were being given,
amul benn weapon bu fa nekkoon.
there were no weapons or anything.
No.
The office was sanitized.
office bi moom dañ ko jekkaloon daal.
waaw office bi
All the things that were necessary to make things look bad were removed.
nga xam ne dañ ko jekkaloon ba nga xam ne loo fa mën a nekk loo xam ne na tax nit ñi foog ne da am na lu fa doon xew lu warta xew rek loolu dañ ko ci génnee.
waaw loolu yëpp mun naa am parce que man office bi moom su ba mu ñëwee moom table laa fa fekka rek ak toogu. No?
That could have been the case because when I got into the office, it was only the table and the chair I found in the office. So that could have been the case.
If
I had known that they were threatened before they were brought in to give their statements, I wouldn't have gotten into it.
Well, you were at the NIA, you saw soldiers roaming about with guns. Just like you were scared when you first saw them. Other people too would have been scared by that.
Well, I can only speak about my case. When I saw the guns, I was scared.
Well, those for whom, in fact, these soldiers knew or they understood weapons much more than you do. No,
don't say they know more than me as if I know anything. I don't know anything at all.
And they said they were all scared. They were all terrified.
They have the right.
But in court, you made it as if that everything was proper.
Well, due to
what I witnessed, and that is what I was speaking about.
Did you ever tell the court that you were going back and forth?
Court never asked me if I was going back and forth.
In fact, the story you gave the court that you were called by Nur to come and witness the signing of the statements, you came and statements were made, you signed as independent witness and you left.
da xam li nga wax court bi sax mooy Ndour daf la oo pour nga ñëw sign nekk seede boo xam ne farul fen te loolu nga def da nga ñëw rek sign dal di dem.
loolu mos a am parce que accuse bu nekk dafa taxaw ñu wax mbiram ba pare ñu génnee li fi nagam statement am.
That never happened because every accused is described and then the person's statement is brought out.
But that is the story you gave in each of the cases.
Why yow case bu ci nekkal façon bii loolu nga fa wax.
Façon ban?
What type?
That you were called by Nur to come and become an independent witness.
Wow.
Nur.
Yes.
And you came and the witness was brought.
Da nga ñëw rek ñu indi seede bi.
Wow.
Yes.
And the witness you were told that the witness is going to make a confession, a voluntary confession. He was not beaten, he was not threatened.
Yes.
And the witness, the accused accepted.
Wow.
Yes.
And then a statement was written.
Wow.
And
Yes.
all of you signed.
Wow.
Yes.
That is what happened in each and every case.
Yes.
At no point did anybody ask for a lawyer.
Well, money time bima lima fake si time bima jël those cautionary statements. Amul ken ku laajte déguma ko daal si gémmiñu ken.
Going by what I witnessed when those cautionary statements were taken, I have not heard anyone request for a lawyer.
Tamsir Jase said here that when he was taken to the room, he asked for a lawyer. Is he lying?
Tamsir Jase wax na fii ne bañ ko yóbbu ca biir néeg ba dafa laajte ne dafa soxla lawyer ndax moom dafa fen.
Su fekkee mënuma ko fenloo de su fekkee ne wax na ko it man dégguma ko.
I cannot dispute what he is saying, but if at all he made that request, I did not hear.
Bunja Dabo said he asked for a lawyer.
Bunja Dabo it ne laajte na lawyer.
Is he lying?
Wow, super kanam ñoom. Diga ken laajte lawyer. Amul ken ku laajte lawyer.
Nobody asked for a lawyer. All of them. None of them asked for a lawyer.
What I have difficulty understanding, Mr. Witness, is 32 statements, all containing confessions of the highest crime in the book. Nobody asked for a lawyer. Everybody confessed. Isn't that really strange, Mr.
Witness? They should have been the ones to refuse that.
Request for lawyers.
They should have refused and requested for lawyers.
They said they did.
That had crossed my ear, I would have made it clear, but none of them requested
question,
for a lawyer.
Mr. Witness, isn't that really strange to you? Isn't that really shocking?
Because
what is strange for you is something that you are aware of. I was not even aware that they could have requested for a lawyer.
But didn't it surprise you that everyone who comes just say, I did it? Even in your home, you have 2-3 kids, you accuse them of something, some would accept, some would deny. But here you have 10.
Sa kër sax dang fa amé sa ay doom yo xamné ñaar ba ci ñetta dang leen wax ne li nga def dañu ñëk bañ ne defuma ko way bi nga am ci ñi kilifa yi
ñom question bu ci ñom wara dem because ñom ñoko nangu.
That question should be posed to them because we are the ones that accepted. What I witnessed was their statements and I was asked to sign and I signed.
In fact, there was yet another witness.
Amat na sax benen sédé Permendi.
Another accused person.
Permendi.
And you are also the independent witness. He too says he was tortured.
Why at the time of taking their cautionary statement, none of them were tortured inside that room?
I'm not denying that they have not been tortured. I'm not also accepting that they have been tortured. All I'm saying is, while I was there, when their statements were being taken, nothing of that sort happened.
Do you know what you did, Mr. Witness? You signed a document saying that those statements were given voluntarily.
Danga sign kayit bo xamne liñ ci sédé moy né ñoom bañoo joxe seen kàddu yoyu ñu binda dañ ko def ci seen coobare boppa.
That's what you said.
Loolu nga wax.
It was false.
Te loolu du dëgg.
Waaw parce que li ma mëna féké li ma féké moy ku ci nekk dafa def CDM li fi naka right statement voluntarily.
What I witnessed was that each one of them wrote their statements voluntarily.
None of them was forced.
None of them was forced.
So,
that is what I can attest to.
That's it.
All of them said they were forced. All of them said they were beaten. All of them said they were threatened.
It
was you the state used to legitimize what they did.
Pour nga wéral li nga xamné mom lañ def.
To say that what all these people were saying is false.
Nga déggal né li ñi di wax ni yépp du dëgg.
Don't you feel bad about that?
Lolu fogolo ne sax lolu war na daw sa yaram.
Xam nga li daw li ma fekkee.
What I was witness to,
lolu mom definitely du mëna daw suma yaram.
That would not be shocking to me.
Because they are soldiers with experience.
Because they were soldiers with experience.
If I
told their fellow soldiers were here, or whether they were beaten, or whether they were threatened,
it was not in my presence.
It was not in my presence. What I found while there is the only thing I can attest to.
The
other things, if at all they were threatened prior before being brought there,
or clear office before my action,
or whether they cleared the office before my arrival, that is something that is
very sad.
That is abnormal, and is.
Mr. Witness, they went to you because they knew that you were the coordinator of the Green Boys.
2006
In 2006, I was not a member of the Green Youths.
2006.
I was not there in 2006.
When were you coordinator of the Green Boys?
Green Boys.
But I had a brother who was there.
After Kugunu, Slamagai dual plasm.
So when he left, I was taken to replace him.
It is quite clear that you sympathized with the government.
No, because Nijila don't deal at hunger.
I sympathized with the people. I sympathized with the people because I was dealing with the people, which was why they recommended me for many positions.
Clearly, you are a big supporter of the government.
Well, Ngurgi, bifinaka, so they may kebe that responsibility, Nijola Ganeka, the Green Youth Coordinator of Lower Nyomi.
Well, for government, if you get to a position where you are given that responsibility, as the coordinator of the Green Boys in Lower Nyomi,
Dinga support Ngurgi.
You will support the government.
Why siko rek liga hamne moy amga diga.
But on the basis of truth.
You know that all these people were convicted for very long terms of prison sentence.
Wow.
Yes.
A lot of lives were lost.
Wow.
Yes.
A lot of people suffered.
What happened?
And they suffered mainly by reason of the position you took.
No,
I cannot accept that.
You know that all those cases would have crumbled but for your testimony?
If I had known that my involvement as an independent witness would lead to these things happening the way they happened, I wouldn't have gotten myself into it.
What do you think you were doing? You were going to sign checks?
No.
What did you think you were doing?
Friend independent witness.
What my friend told me, to come and be an independent witness.
You were never independent. You were a witness to help your friend. To do the dirty job of the state. have these people tortured and brutalized and confessions obtained from them.
taxabe seeni borom ñu mitital leen toroxal leen ndax ñu mun a amee kàddu ci ñoom ba nga xam ne dinañ nangu tuuma yi leen teg.
That's what you did.
loolu nga def.
non defuma loolu parce que man musuma man bëgguma fu ñoo toroxalee doomu adama.
I didn't do that because I don't want to see where a human being is made to suffer.
Because ki ma nangu tey ñu toroxal ko ëllëg mun naa nekk a very close relative of mine.
Because if I should allow someone to be made to suffer today, tomorrow that person may be turned out to be a close relative of mine.
Mr. Witness, what I am telling you are not things that are new to you.
seede bi man de li ma laa wax nii amul dara lu ci bees ci yow.
True or false?
dëgg la wala lu dëgg.
All these claims that I am bringing out are not new.
lii ma fi feeñal nii yëpp amul dara lu bees ci yow.
Kañ lu bees la si man parce que man xamewuma ko woon noonu.
There are new things because I did not understand things in that way.
At the trial,
ca àttekaay ba.
each witness claimed that they were tortured. Each and every one of them.
ñi tuumaal yëpp ku ci nekk nangu na ne dañ ko mitital.
waaw man bu Wasa Camara bi sax moom a gën a tiital sax because Wasa Camara bi mu ñëwee mu ne moom.
Yes, Wasa Camara's story was what scared me a lot because he came and said that.
ne moom mu doon bleed time bi mu doon jël statement am.
He said he was bleeding when his statement was being taken.
lawyer bi ne ko demal si kanamam nga won ko lifin bi sa maag bi foofu noonu.
And the lawyers told him to go in front and show the mark on his forehead.
So moko xoolee mu ne ma lan moo fa nekk ma leen maag.
So when I looked at it and they asked me what is there, I told them a mark.
lawyer mu ne ma la bëgg a wax ne kii time bi moo jël statement am foofu mu ngi xar mu ngi naaca.
Lawyer Mboy said to me, I want to put it to you that this man, while he was giving his statement, he was bleeding.
ne ko bi moo jël statement am gisuma dara foofu noonu amul benn naaca boo xam ne
I
mu doon.
said to him, while he was giving his statement, I did not see any bleeding.
It was a big surprise to me.
It was a surprise to me.
bi Wasa Camara waxee wax yooyu noonu.
When Wasa Camara made those statements.
Wasa Camara mi nga xam ne dafa ma ne ma sax man dama bëgg coffee.
Wasa Camara was the one that said to me, I want coffee.
But the interesting thing, Mr. Witness, is that it's so convenient you were able to remember all those details.
li ci gën a doy waar mooy yow benn yooyu yëpp mun nga koo fàttaliku.
But on the more critical things, you can't remember anything.
waaye yeneen yi nga xam ne nag ñoo gën a doy waar yooyu moom mun la cee fàttaliku dara.
waaw xam nga Wasa Camara.
Well, you know Wasa Camara.
dinaa ko fàttaliku bu baax a baax.
I will recall about him very well.
Because of nim testify or lim doon wax ci court bi.
Because of what he was saying in the court.
dama waaru fooguma ne woon doomu aadama dina war a jël waat ba pare ñu toog di wax yoo xam ne jaarut yoon.
I was surprised that a human being would take an oath and then appear before the court and make such a
Are you serious?
I am 100% serious. dama tiit sax bi ma déggee Wasa Camara di wax yooyu noonu ak Wasa Camara ni ma meloon moom si biir office Wasa Camara.
Maybe you should watch this video afterwards.
I was scared when I heard Wasa Camara make those statements.
Maybe you should watch this video afterwards.
na video bi ñoo def nii boo paree danga ko war a seetaanaat.
waaw naa ko seetaan.
Yes, I will watch it.
And then you would see a very good example of what you've just said.
di nga gis misaal bu set ci li nga xam ne moom nga wax nii léegi.
You agree?
nangu nga.
waaw.
Yes.
waaw.
Yes.
li ma wax nii. naa si gis misaal bi kay.
I'll see the example, of course.
I have no further questions. Thank you.
So.
The witness would wish to be excused for a few minutes. Thank you.
Gambi. Commissioners, I think we can round up by you asking questions and then him making a statement when he comes back, huh? Of course. So we finish the day, huh? Thank you, witness, for coming back. I'll crave the indulgence of the commissioners and the interpreters and the media. I know I'm eating into your lunch break, but so that we can finish with this witness and then end the session for today. Huh? Okay. Commissioner Samba, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Chairwoman. Babu. I
have a question for you.
Mr. Ndur.
Mr. Ndur.
Mumfi.
Is he around? He is late.
Yow yaakaaruloo woon ne Mr. Ndur yow yaa nekkoon met langom boo xam ne moom la war a joxe si state bi pour nga mun ko jox information.
No, why no, why mom?
English interpretation.
English.
Sorry, can you repeat? Yes, please, please.
Mane yaakaaruloo woon ne.
Don't you think that?
Mr. Ndur.
That Mr. Ndur,
yow yaa nekkoon met langom time bi moo nekka.
You were his informer while he was in office.
No, Ndur from nekon amman from maneka nekun bena so why hamna ne mom
where he was and where I was
no
we're not the same place, but I know that he has trust and confidence in me.
Because I'm not been a time bo hamne dañ ko IGB daf leen joxone bena number.
Because there was a time that the IG gave them a number.
So mu ne ko dama bëgg ngeen trace ki as soon as possible.
And he said to them that he wanted the owner of that phone number to be traced as soon as possible.
Because of course they called the Kosaga.
Because that individual used to call him and insult him.
One phone on a detect on that person.
I think I was the one that detected that person.
All right, so mom must have learned trop.
So he needed me a lot.
Because he
had confidence in me, and I also had confidence in him. It's just by God's doing that he was a police officer and I am a civilian.
Wow, police officer la waaye xam na ne am na informer boo xam ne moom lu mu bugg a laajte ak lu mu bugg a xam su la ko waxee yow di nga ko lijjantil nga wax ko te yow doo informer.
He was a police officer, but he knew that he had someone that whenever he had a problem and told this problem to, such person would work it out and give him the solutions, and you were not an informer. I was not his informant.
Why,
but he had trust in me.
Because he's naturally gifted.
Because he was naturally gifted to me. And I also have respect for him. And that I never give him any information.
Yow naka nga xamé telephone number bobu nonu nga dem jokkoko naka nga ko xamé?
How did you get to
fekkee ne nekkuloo informant naka nga ko xamé?
No, nekuma informant.
How did you know that telephone number which you pass on to him if you say you are not an informant?
I was at their office during that time. So after momu gena si amba when
they gave it to him, he came out and said to me, when IJ gave them that number, they went to Africell.
Africell jolen number B mujhe call IGB.
Why Africell gave them the number, the last number that called the IG.
Number call.
And that number, the person who was last to call it.
When they gave
me the name
the
name of the person who called the person who was insulting the IG. I dialed that number on my phone, and a name popped out on the screen. I said, well, this person's name has popped out.
But it
is not that he was the one who was insulting the IG.
Around 12.
But he was communicating with the person who was insulting the IG, and their communication was up to around 12. When I went and asked the boy,
sorry,
sorry, I borrowed his telephone.
Madam, she call information.
I went to his call log.
Time being indicate time
But I saw that the time that they said that this individual called him was not on the call log. And that guy was not very versatile or smart enough to know that to know how to delete calls. When we followed that case,
after all, finally guy
we followed the case, and finally the individual was traced. And I was the one that showed them the door.
Investigation
How they were to carry out their investigations.
So legi Babu. Man dang ma jahal de.
You surprised me a lot, Babu.
Li tax nga jahal ma.
This is why you surprised me.
Yow nekulo NIA.
You weren't an NIA officer.
Yow nekulo police.
You weren't a police officer.
Yow nekulo security man bo xamne da nga wara dem di def investigations.
You weren't in the security services which will warrant you to take part in any investigations.
Li la lead council laaj ndax dañ la dé fay nga ne fayuñ la bu reuy.
And the lead council asked you here if you were paid, and you said you were not paid a dime.
Kon yow jambar nga parce que da nga liggéeyal state bi ci merci.
Then you are a patriot. You only work for the country with the expectation of a thank you at the end of the day.
So man,
you are a patriotic citizen because you same to lo ci fay. Yow yang wondalu gudeg beccek di dem di lijanti di ñew fayuñ la xana time bi nga def li amulo ben responsibility bo xamne war nga ko jël sa kër bo xamne mën nga mëna tok sa kër nga topato sa njobot.
I will label you as a patriotic citizen since you were running around day and night trying to work out things and not being paid a dime. I don't know whether at that time that you were doing all of these things, do you not have any responsibilities at home which you needed to carry out? I had a problem which was big as the Magal tour. But I had been a volunteer for a long time.
I volunteer in Sajuka Nosi and Adult Literacy for 5 years. I volunteer paying nada.
At Sajuka Adult Literacy and School, I volunteered for 5 years and they paid me nothing. That is why in Bara, no one can tell me anything. Everybody knows that when it comes to helping, I was always there. Fun?
Sports.
When it comes to sports, I'm there.
Whatever
you can think of which a human being can make use of, I'm always there rendering assistance.
Mandal doma muna wax lolu ma gom ko man lima gom moy so gisé olof jaay ñu né so gisé ngay dok mburu dogita tax ngay dok
wa ku dog dogita tax
kuy dok dogita tax ngay dok waye man lima la ñaan moy fanweri nit ak juroom ñi yeb nga involve len ci lo xamné du dégguwut parce que yow orut la né li liñ def ñom ñoko def ngay jugé ko depuis bara passulo fayuñ la pass fayuñ la leka fayuñ la dara ngay démé ci mali foro lolu sama ko hé duma ko gëm man li ma la advice moy fanweri ci ñi nga tuumal bañ def leen liñ leen warta def trial nga jéggelu ci ñom ñu balal la suñ la balalu bes bo dé dinañ ko guiné ci sa bamel.
What I can advise you is that the 32 people whose statements you have signed that led them to experience things in life which they shouldn't have experienced, you try and make an effort and seek their forgiveness. Otherwise, you will pay for it in the hereafter. Because as you all say, if you see someone doing something, there is a reason behind that. It couldn't have been the case that you would be doing all of these things for not getting anything out of it. God, who is watching over us, what I witnessed, God knows it. And anyone also who accused me will also face it in future.
Because
what I can attest to is what I was a witness to. What they did to them before, I do not know.
So witness wrong because of my witness. The witness be my witness, ndeke ñoom dañ daj lu metti bala witness bi su fekkee ne loolu dafa nit pour mu apologize naa leen apologize.
If at all, the people that I witnessed as an independent, as I was present as their independent witness, if at all they were tortured before they were being brought there, and if that doing so is a wrong thing to do, and if there is a need for me to apologize, then I'll apologize to them for that.
Bahna way man lima la wax dal moy mandarga mënon nga sétlu suy ben nit sax ma ñaari nit sax mandarga bu am bo waraw xamne li amna lu xew waye comme ko nga ne yow xamuloko te yow ornale time bobu non lu doon dox NIA ornala xam nga ko nga ne xamuloko lolu kenn du la mëna forcer na nga xam ko waye sa digënté ak yalla te nga xamne alcorane nga ral su fekkee ne doomi jullit nga waat ci yàlla ne lii li ma wax déggu na ci yow dina ko génnee si yow. Thank you very much.
jërëjëf yàlla ma mutu tampon sa bala ma aga su fekkee ne li ma ne yëpp du digga.
All you said is true, but I'm saying at least a mark which you can say and you look at somebody and be able to tell what has happened to the person. But you said that you did not see anything of that sort. But you knew what was happening in the NIA. You knew exactly what was happening there. And as a Muslim, if you swore and you say what is not the truth, you know the repercussions that come after that.
Well, man, su fekkee ne li ma wax ni lu am la.
And I'm saying if what they said was what actually happened.
Yàlla bu ma àgg fu ma dem ma dee bu ñaaw.
Let me not.
Because
may God make it that I don't reach my destination and die a very horrific death, because I know what the Al-Quran is like. I fear it and I'm very careful about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Commissioner, sir.
Thank you, Chair. I have a couple of questions I want to ask you. And the first is, why did you become a green boy?
Man nag dafa am ay laajte yu ma la bëgg a laaj bu njëkk bi mooy lan moo tax nga nekk green boy.
Mooy rek li ma la rek man suma waa dëkk ñoom ñoo ma dee dugal si lu bari parce que dañ xam suma yëngatu ak suma pas-pas ni mel si lu munti doon.
As I said earlier on, most of the things, it's my community that gets me involved because they know about my activities and my interest in many things.
The second is, what were your functions as coordinator of the Green Boys?
ñaareel bi mooy comme ka yow yaa nekkoon ki jiite woon Green Boy loolu lan moo woon sa taxawaay.
Well, suma taxawaay moo nekkoon because Lower Ñoomi Green Youth coordinator la woon.
I was the coordinator for the Lower Ñoomi Green Boys.
Time boo xamee ne président bi mu ngi war a génn.
Each time the president is to go out on tour.
Dañ doon dem mobilize Lower Ñoomi Green si.
We will mobilize the Greens at Lower Ñoomi.
Ba pare maa doon dalal North Bank West Green si.
And I used to host the green youths from the North Bank West.
Parce small district lañ doon ñëw mu SO Primary School.
Because they used to come to my district at the SO Primary School.
Any event tam bu am.
If there was to be any event to take place.
ñu war a jàll si.
For them to cross over.
Ma dee wane ma tànn a number of greens.
They will ask me to pick a number of greens. Greens. You
had North Bank, the rest of the 7 districts, to
wait for the rest of the 7 districts and welcome them and bring them to Bara.
Were there any benefits attached to being a green youth?
Na amna ben njëriñ bu nekkoon ci nekk green youth.
Wow, amoon na njëriñ.
Yes, there were benefits.
Parce que I've done in that cordial relationship between people ñi nga xam ne xam nga leen xamuloo leen.
It usually brought a cordial relationship between people you knew and those that you did not know.
Ba pare teg si itam ko si mën a dimbale nga dimbale ko.
And added on to that, you can help any other person that you are able to help.
What about opportunities for jobs, especially into the security? Was that existing?
naka nak ndax muna am yoon pour am liggéey ci bunti kaaraange gi ndax loolu mu doon am.
There was a time.
There was a time.
Around 2015, I think. 2015.
I think it was in 2015.
Some greens, if you know they are non-greens, then you recruit them.
They recruited some of our greens and others who were not greens into the army.
My final question is, do you have any regrets for everything that you have been part of?
Suma laajte bu mujj bi mooy lépp loo xam ne yaa ngi ko doon def ndax réccu nga ko.
No, li ma doon def yëpp amul dara loo xam ne dama ko si réccu parce que li ma doon def yëpp dama feel ne dama ko doon def fa ma ko war a defee ak na ma ko war a defee.
All the things I did, there is nothing that I regretted because I believe I did what I had to do and in the way that it was expected to be done.
Sorry, if it naka wow,
sorry, there is something that I regret.
Why being an independent witness?
That is being an independent witness. I regret that and I will be mindful of such a thing until the day that I die.
Somebody very close to me commit a crime, independent witness.
Except if it is someone that is very close to me who commits a crime and has no one to be there as an independent witness, then I may serve as one. But otherwise, that is the only thing that I regret.
So as Andy Ami said, are you willing to apologize to your victims?
Yes.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Okay.
Witness, yes. We are coming to the end of this session. You said you have regretted being an independent witness. Obviously, there must be something you have realized at this point in time for which you are very, very sorry about. You were independent witness for 32 people. You are telling us here in this commission that none of them were punished or tortured in your presence. But obviously you can recognize somebody who has been tortured. And you confirm now to this commission that really they were not tortured. You did not recognize any one of them who was tortured. But the whole world is listening to you. And as Ka and Samba told you, if you have regretted what you have done, why don't you now complain and say, I am sorry for what I did, because I did the wrong thing? As a religious leader, deep in your conscience now, you can feel what you feel. But I can also feel what you feel. I entreat you to please apologize to these people because definitely you wronged them. Thank you.
Just a point of clarification, Mr. Chair. It may have come from me as a misrepresentation or a misunderstanding. It's 12 witnesses, but 32 statements. Yes. 32 statements, but for 12 witnesses. And one of the witnesses you indicated was Nying, Alaji Nying. I have listed 11 plus Alaji Nying. Thank you.
Wa pour ma seede leeral foofu rek ñoom ñi nga xam ne ñoom lañ tuumaaloon ci fukki nit ak ñaar lañ toll waaye kaddu yi nga xam ne moom lañ jëlee ci ñoom yëpp laa wax ne boole seen bi mooy fanweer yi ak ñaar ma leeral foofu.
Okay, Imam Lana, okay.
Imam Jallo. Imam Jallo.
Imam Jallo.
Imam Jallo, I heard all that you have said.
Understand money.
I also want you to understand me.
They were not tortured.
That I did not say that they were not tortured.
Why man time being in the office being no faker.
But when they were being brought at the office where they found me, and they knew that
office statement
the office where they were writing their statements,
there was no tool or any threatening thing or threatening
there was no tool or any threatening thing. They were not threatened or did or don't anything.
They are not fair with me.
They are not fair to me. What they could have said was that I was present when their statements were being taken. And if there is any wrongdoing there, because they too would also share in that, because they are denying what happened. If I told what I witnessed, and maybe what happened and the way things are is not the same. Maybe they were threatened before and the condition to come and say whatever they wanted them to say in my presence.
No, it's very wrong.
That is very wrong.
Why months more, Papa?
But personally, I cannot seek forgiveness for an offense or a crime that I have not committed.
In my presence,
the God that watches over us knows there was no one amongst them who sat in front of me who was being threatened, who was bleeding. If I told something like that happened, I am praying to God who is in charge of everything. May I have an accident, a very serious accident before I get home. That never happened. That never happened.
Commissioner Bojan.
Thank you, Chair. Babu. Nani nankaro sotore mi yaron ko Commissioner Kala kuma labang ajindini wala.
There's a question I asked, which is in line with Commissioner Kang's last question.
Hanaka bi kilin lafte je senendi.
Babu mu ne daf la bugal laaj lo xamne Commissioner Ka wax na ko fi mu buga nga leral ko.
Te lo tamine yemini be CDA.
Yow ñi nga taxawal ñepp nga sédé len.
All the people that you served as an independent witness for.
Fo mo sotote kono ite inimisata minna CDA ndol.
Ndax amna kenn ci ñoom ko xamne réccu nga li nga xamne mom nga taxaw jël sédé.
Is there one of them who's for whom you have now regretted to have been served as an independent witness for?
No, réccu ma kenn ko xamne taxaw na jël laka sédé parce que bañoo sédé amuton dara lu wara tax ma réccu.
I have not regretted being a witness for any one of them, because at that time there was nothing that was there that can make me regret it.
Okay, Abaraka.
Abaraka, Jerry.
Thank you for what you have said.
Limalay laaj moy ñi nga sédé yob kan nga ci sédel ki mom bokut ci liñ leen tuumal kan nga ci sédel mom bokut ci.
the people that you have served as a witness for, who amongst them did you serve as a witness who was not a part of it?
xam nga foofu noonu man du ma mën a xam ki bokk ak ki bokkut man kii ñëw indi rek ne ko kii bindal sa statement man loolu laa mën a fekkee.
I cannot tell.
loolu laa mën a attest loolu laa mën a seede.
I cannot tell who was part of it.
xaw ma ndax ki ñëw bokk na ndax dañ ko forcé by force mu ñëw loolu man xaw ma si dara man li ma fekkee mooy yow bind seen statement bi it was in my presence.
I couldn't tell who was part of it or who was not part of it. All that happened was they will bring them in my presence and they will write their statements and I will serve as a witness. The things that you are witnessing to, did they happen in your presence or not?
Well, because
when they talk about a witness, is someone who was present.
Musuma sign ben document bo hamne dañ mako isiré mo sign ko te witness bi togut lifin bi togut naka kibina homa musuma sign ben document bo hamne dañ ko fraud rek mu ñew rek ma sign ko non document yi ma sign yep waji dafa tok wax ñu binal ko o mu binal bopam after mu sign ma sign.
I never signed any document that was brought to me just like that. All the documents that I signed were those that were written by the accused themselves or on whose behalf they were written in my presence. Those were the ones that I signed.
Wow, ñoom yow li nga leen sédel yëpp da nga leen sédel ñoom yo bokku nañ ci yow lo rek nga sign.
So those people that you serve as a witness for, were they all present? Was that all that you signed?
Wow, ki nga xamne dafa ñëw bind statement am ba pare ma ñu lo rek la sign ñu bind seen statement ku bind statement am mo witness column bi independent witness column bi mo sign fa lo rek la fekke lo la sign.
Yes, all the people who are brought in.
Amna kaddu bi nga fi wax nga ne li jaakalul la tiitulo ci.
You said one thing, you said this thing does not surprise you, you are not scared of anything.
You know
the God that you are talking to like that and the Quran that you have touched and the things that you are saying here. It is very clear to you that all the things that you serve as the people that you served as witness for, you were not there and you don't know everything about the case. I'm not talking about whether you've regretted or not, but let this be clear to you that you should be scared about this, because if you see that these people have now gotten to prison, it's because of your doing.
Then 32 cases now, about 32 cases, I don't know, 32 statements with 12 witnesses.
Accused persons.
Accused persons.
Wow. So, what I
can tell you briefly is that God knows.
Man, I am blind.
Man, I am blind.
The same thing applies to Kenen Kumunti Don.
And that is the same as with every other person.
So, the
reason why I'm saying what I'm saying, what I witnessed,
the final ate.
I think God, who is in control of the final judgment, He knows that what I said is what I witnessed. And this is honestly to God. I cannot sit here and be telling lies. God knows. What you should do right now is, wherever you are, remember that what you've done is not good, and fear that. Know that there is judgment between you and these people. Whatever they might have lost here in this world, outside of God and the Holy Prophet, you are responsible for that.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I heard your statement. Yes.
Ma'am Jallo has a follow-up question.
Witness. Why do you think you were personally chosen
out of the whole population of the Gambia to serve as an independent witness for people you don't know, you have never seen, and you have never had anything to do with. Why? Why were you chosen?
No, answer.
Yow rek ñu tànn la ci mbooloo mi nga xam ne Gambie yépp ni mu toll ñu seppi la ci yow kenn rek pour nga dem seedeel ci ñoo xam ne musuloo leen a xam musuloo leen a gis lu tax.
xam nga man mo tànn waaye ki mo tànn moom moo war a xelaat moom moo war a joxe li tax moom mu tànn ma.
Well, I was handpicked, but it is the one that who handpicked me who must give his reasons for doing that.
Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, excuse me, I just wish to indicate the trials lasted from 2006 all the way to 2012. And the witness appeared as witness before the High Court and before the court martials. Thank you.
Dama bëgg leeral leneen tamit mooy ne atte biñ doon def noonu dem na ba diri 2006 be 2012 loolu diri juróom benni at la te saa yu ñoo dem ci attekaay bi moom mii di dafa nekk di teew moo xam ci attekaay ci koddu ak ci attekaay soldat yëpp dafa dee teew pour joxe seedeem.
Thank you, lead counsel. Thank you, witness.
Madam Chair, before you adjourn, may I put in my exhibits? The witness statement is Exhibit 187. The list of accused persons. Perhaps maybe, Mr. Witness, do you want to include these other names that I gave you?
Names?
Low. Hold a second.
I'm not so aware.
Aliou Lo, Abdullah Njai, Hamadi Sow, Omar Fall, Pierre Mendy, and Alaji Nying. Do you want to include that in the list? It seems that you only remembered half. So I gave you the other half.
So
You want to include them? Yes, thank you.
Wow.
Aliou Sow. Aliou Lo.
Okay.
Abdullah Njai. Hamadi Sow. Omar Fall, if you wish you can add Keta. That was the name that was given at the court, Omar Fall Keta. And Per John Mendy. And Alaji Nying. Thank you. That one would be Exhibit 187A. The Gambia Times article I cited would be 187B. There is another article that I cited from All Africa. It is in the treason trial, Detective Botoketa appears. That would be Exhibit 187C. And then a Point newspaper article, concealment of treason trial, state independent witness appears. That would be Exhibit 187D. There is another one, concealment of treason case continues, Exhibit 187E. Thank you very much, Madam Chair.
Thank you, lead counsel. The articles are accepted. Before I hand over to the witness to make his final statement, personally, I would like to thank you for publicly accepting that your role as a green boy.
Bala ma jox kaddu gi nak sédé bi pour mu joxe kaddu mi mujja dama ko gërëm ci li nga xamné nangu na jaxaral né mom bokkon na ci Green Boys.
When we were doing the witch hunt sessions in SL,
biñ doon def programme lu aju ci ñi nga xamné moy won ruba dumba yi té ñu ko doon défé ci SL.
And the role of the Green Boys was highlighted.
Té ñu feñal fa li nga xamné moy won taxaway Green Boys.
There was no person who could identify one single green boy or green girl.
Amul kenn ko xamné mën na ci seppi kenn ko xamné bokkon na ci ñi nga xamné ñoy won Green Boys wala Green Girls.
Even though the witch hunt victims had clearly stated how they were humiliated and degraded by the Green Boys and the Green Girls.
Dégala nak ñi nga xamné ñom lañ jappon ci rubam duma yoy ñom ñepp ku ci nek woné na li nga xamné non la leen Green Boys ak Green Girls yi tuuta leen won niñ leen gaccélé won ñom ñepp woné won nañ ko fa.
Even though you have denied any role in the witch hunts,
dégala nak yow wéddi nga né bokkon nga ci ruba duma yoy ñu doon def.
We can now put a face to a green boy.
Bon mën nañu xamé Green Boy.
And one who played a significant role in the organization. So from the perspective of the Commission, I would like to thank you for that.
A green boy from Bara.
A green man.
A green man, yes. I noted the age actually, and I said Gambia. We've got very interesting definitions. You say green boy for adults, and then you say Green Boys, and there are girls in the organization, and nobody recognizes them, but thanks anyhow. Can we please have your final statement, Mr.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Di rafetlu rek jotaay bi ak di wax thank you very much the TRRC team. Slogan never again.
I want to thank this commission, the TRRC team. The slogan says
never again.
Never again. It should be something that will be made to stand and solidified. Because it is something that,
never again,
if at all we have decided to say never again,
never again.
It actually should be never again.
Why the other governments
and urging the government
to
be very careful with the people. Because it is the people who are the electorates. They will elect them tomorrow to become president. And their security would be in his or her hand. Also thanking the security services. Any country that should be calm and be in peace, that lies in the hands of the security officers. Praying to God that lest this be where this thing will stop. Any bad deed that has been said here, or whether it has been done here, since independence up till date, let us sit together and know that we are all one people and forgive one another and be very mindful. Let the young ones respect their elders. And also for the elders to know that the youngsters are just youngsters, and also bring them up in a very calm.
Religious leaders
accordingly.
Let the religious leaders also preach to their people accordingly.
su ko defee liñ bugg dinañ ko am.
And if that happens, then we will be able to achieve what we want.
On that note, maa ngi jërëjëf council members yëpp.
On that note, I want to thank the council members again.
li tax maa leen a jërëjëfati.
And the reason why I want to thank you again
moo nekk suma teewaay bi fii nii tey.
is because of my presence here today.
pour wax li ma xam.
To talk about what I know.
fi ma jaar.
What I have gone through.
si nguur gi passé.
In the past government.
ba fi ñu am nii tey.
Until where we are today.
di leen jërëjëfati si loolu.
Thanking you for that.
parce que ñu bari ñu doon yaakamte lii.
Many people we are longing for this.
te niñ ko mënoon a xamee rek mooy through TRRC bi.
And the only way that they could have known about it was through the TRRC.
yàlla jàmm yàgga si réew mi.
May peace prevail for a long time in this country.
ñi offend ñu ngi jégalu.
Those that we have offended, we apologize.
ñi offend itam war nañoo jégalu.
Those who are
offended
also should seek forgiveness.
Okay, di balu aha. Di jégalu.
Seeking forgiveness.
Simbolem ko xamne dafa feel ne dama ko offend.
To anyone who feels that I offended him or her.
Yàlla boole jégal.
May God extend the forgiveness to all.
Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you very much, Mr. Loum, for the closing statement.
Jërëjëf Mr. Loum ci kàddu yi nga mujjee gaaral.
Thank you, commissioners. Thank you, lead counsel, interpreters, media. The session is closed for today. We meet tomorrow at 10 o'clock.